Hello and welcome. Welcome to another Lunch with Lisa. I'm Lisa Warner. I am the author of The Simplicity of Self-Healing. Today, as we talk about self-healing, all healing is self-healing in my estimation, because nobody else can do the healing for you. You are the only one who can heal your own body. Let's talk about our direct connection to Source, because we each have a direct connection to the divine, to Source, the source of all life, the source of all well-being, the source of all healing, the source of all that we desire. We each have a direct connection to the all that is. We can call it Source, we can call it the all that is, we can call it the universe, we can call it Mother, Father, God. The name is not as important as the concept of what it actually is. It's the space of the divine from which we are all created. As souls, we are divine beings of light. It is who and what we are. Light and love are the fabric of who we are. They are the fabric of our existence. And it is when we become disconnected from the love and the light we are that we lose connection to our innate intelligence, to the divine mind. And we start to fall out of resonance with that high frequency of love and light and well-being and prosperity and thriving, peace, ease, joy. All the things that we desire exist in this high frequency bandwidth of light. But when we fall out of alignment with that, when we fall out of resonance, we start falling into the darkness. We start to lose connection with who we actually are. We start to fall into the realms of amnesia, and we forget. When I was a little girl at 2 years old, I could see the amnesia. When I was fully connected to the field of love and light. And it's this incredibly beautiful field that is filled with unconditional love and pure light and divine intelligence. It's this field that is alive. It is the source of life itself. And we all come from this. But when we come into these physical bodies, this hasn't been happening on this planet for a very long time. This planet has been taken over by a control structure of people who want to dominate, the people who want to control God, the people who want to be more powerful than God, have set up this control structure on the planet. All of these rules and regulations, you have to follow the leader, do the thing we're telling you to do, or else there will be consequences. You will be punished if you don't do what we tell you to do, when you don't follow our rules. So we follow the rules. And humanity has been suffering for thousands upon thousands of years at the hands of the rulers. But who and what we are is divine. We are love. We are light. We are brilliant beyond measure. But we've not been allowed to use our brilliance. We have been basically forced into following the rules, doing what we're told, going to school, learning what they tell us to learn, none of which is really valuable in really any way, shape, or form. And then we wonder why we don't feel well. We wonder why our bodies are not functioning the way we want them to function, because we're not functioning the way we should be functioning. We're not operating from our divine intelligence. We're operating from the controlled mind, from the programmed mind. We're operating from the amnesia. But none of us have ever lost our direct connection to source. We can turn our backs on it. We can refuse to look at it, but it's still there. And when we reactivate our connection to Mother, Father, God, to source, to the living light, whatever words you want to put on it, when we reactivate our direct connection, we can start to source our answers directly from source itself, from the ultimate truth. And when we start to source our answers directly from the highest authority, and not an authority figure that rules over, but the highest form of authentic truth. The ultimate truth and love are the ultimate authorities, because they are the creators. We create from love and from truth. Well, we create all the beautiful things that we could ever desire from those things. We create disease and debt and dysfunction and war and crime when we're not connected directly to source. So when we turn our back on our direct connection, when we follow the leaders, when we ask the experts, rather than asking directly from source itself, rather than following the lead of Mother, Father, God, the divine, nature herself, when we follow that lead, everything leads to life, to thriving. But when we follow the rules, when we follow the leader of these fallen leaders who are corrupt, who are far more interested in their own personal power than they are in the well-being of anyone else, we suffer. So our direct path back to healing is to stop playing follow the leader and to turn inside, to turn our attention back in and lead ourselves back into our authentic selves, into our divine selves, ourselves that are brilliant, ourselves that are directly connected to the one mind. And when we source our answers from there, we get very, very different answers than when we look to the experts who are not sourcing their intelligence from the divine. They're sourcing their intelligence from their upline, from the ones who taught them, and from the ones who are incentivizing them. In order for us to heal ourselves, in order for us to heal the planet, we have to reclaim our own sovereignty. We have to reestablish our direct connection to the one mind, to the one love, to the one source of all that is. You have a direct connection to divine intelligence. Are you using it? Or are you trying to rely on the intelligence of somebody else? Or artificial intelligence? Okay, the word artificial intelligence says it all. It's not organic intelligence, it's not the divine intelligence. So, why are we relying on fallen intelligence, on artificial intelligence, when we could be relying on our own divine intelligence, the intelligence of the God mind? When we source our answers from that intelligence, we get beautiful answers. We get the actual answers that we're seeking, not somebody else's interpretation of the answer that we think we need. Oh, there's a pill for that. Oh, follow the rules or else you'll get in trouble. Just do this thing because then you won't get in trouble, right? We have to stop and we have to start to see what's actually happening on this planet. Why are we suffering? Why are we sick? Why does nothing feel right on this planet? Why are all of these very unnatural disasters happening? Why are all these wars happening? Why are there more and more and more diseases every other day? There's a new commercial for a new pill for a new disease. Where are they all coming from? They're coming from the fallen minds. Our bodies are not being attacked by diseases. Our bodies are doing everything they can to survive. They're adapting to our fallen consciousness. And when we're providing fallen consciousness input to our bodies degrade because we're working from degraded intelligence, not from divine intelligence, but from the fallen intelligence. And as our own intelligence degrades, we just simply follow the rules, do what we're told. We don't think for ourselves. We let somebody else think for us. And then we end up in a pickle. And it's not fun. And we're suffering needlessly. Now is the time on planet Earth where we start to reconnect to our own divinity, where we start to reconnect to our divine intelligence, where we start raising the light quotient of the planet, where we start taking our sovereignty back, when we stop giving our authority away to external authority figures, where we stop automatically assuming that other people know better than we do. Nobody knows better than you do when you are connected to your own divine intelligence. But until you restore that connection, the suffering will continue, not as a punishment, but simply because you're not operating from 100% of your own light. If you're only operating from 50% of your own light, you're only going to have a 50% health, a 50-50 life. You don't want to be living a 50-50 life. You don't want to be living a compromised life. You don't want to compromise yourself or your health for anyone or anything. You're here to be your full self. your fully mature, spiritually mature self, the soul you were created to be. When you be the truth of who you truly are, you thrive. But when you're operating in the amnesia, you cannot thrive. It's just simply not possible. So I ask, you have a direct connection to divine intelligence. Are you using it? When I found myself facing cancer, I knew it was time to reconnect. I knew it was time to stop following the leaders and blaze my own path back to myself. Reconnect to the divine so I could source better quality answers. And when I did that, everything in my life changed, everything upgraded, everything got better. And it continues to get better and better and better the deeper I reconnect. And if this is happening for me and happening for the others around me, it can happen for you too. If you would like assistance in that reconnecting so that you can be healthy, wealthy, wise, happy, and be living in your own sovereign authority. Whole being healing is designed for you. You can learn more at wholebeinghealing.life. Check it out in the show notes. There are only 12 spots per class. Is one of them yours? Right now, today, I'm recording this on July 8th, 2025. We've got another class coming up in August. 12 spaces available. Some of them are already taken. Is one of them yours? Reach out. Go to wholebeinghealing.life. Check it out. You'll know if it's a match as soon as you read it. I hope it is, because it is life changing. It's been amazing teaching these classes and seeing the transformation that happens. I hope this was helpful to you. Please reconnect to your divine intelligence because you can. Bye for now.